Hey there guys, and welcome back to the Travis and Damian Podcast, episode 19. We are available on anchor.fm/Travis Damian Podcast, along with iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. Today, we're going to talk about the general news, such as things like Tom Holland and his future within the MCU, Telltale Games returning, Disney Plus, and then some of the other bigger news topics like the ProJared response, the Funimation Leak, and the Nintendo Direct. Then we will dive into our recent activities and close out the show. So first piece of news is that we have a Breaking Bad movie that'll come out on Netflix, El Camino. And as a person that binge watched legit everything Breaking Bad in 2013, which was when the final season aired, it was a great show. I really did enjoy it. I could see why a lot of people liked it. And the fact that we're finally getting a movie, I believe it's going to take place after the final season. And we're going to follow Jesse Pinkman, who was a very prominent character within that show. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this plays out.
Yeah, again, I haven't watched Breaking Bad yet. I probably should. I know it's like one of the best shows ever, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since Game of Thrones kind of like, didn't end so well, people still regard Breaking Bad to be like one of the best TV shows.
Yeah.
So I probably should watch it at some point. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say because I've never watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I know isn't there another series, the Better Call Saul? Isn't that like
yeah, Better Call Saul. That was like a spinoff. I haven't watched it myself, but I heard it's pretty good. Some people say it's better than Breaking Bad, which I think is a little much.
Yeah, I heard people say that too. So, I mean, I guess anything involving in this franchise has been really good so far. So I really don't have any doubts that this is going to be bad. I guess and this is going to be on Netflix. You said, right? It's not going to be like in theaters. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Only on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I mean, nothing has shown that this series has been bad so far. So hopefully it keeps up the record.
Yeah, especially since I think a lot of people really do consider Breaking Bad really good because the ending actually made sense in a way. So yeah, I'm just very excited to go and see where this all happens and how it'll do.
Yeah. All right, so next we got some Marvel stuff. Black Panther 2 is coming May 6th, 2022. So that's going to be interesting. I love Black Panther. It really caught me off guard with how good it was. Because, you introduced him in Civil War. I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. And then his movie was really good. I know some people say it's overrated or it's only good because of certain reasons, but I don't think that's true. I do definitely think it is one of the higher tier Marvel movies. So I'm excited to see how his character evolves after the Endgame and stuff. So that's going to be really cool. And next, this is probably the bigger news here. Tom Holland and Kevin Feige, they opened up about the situation, the whole Spider-Man situation. And, Spider-Man, he ain't coming home. He's not, well, I guess he is going home, but he's not returning to the MCU. So, yeah, that's horrible. I think we already said our pieces on this. I mean, again, I know it is Disney's fault. Disney kind of, they just didn't make a good compromise to Sony, so it kind of makes sense. But it's still sad to see him go. I think he's still contracted to do 2 more movies, though, right? Tom Holland?
Something like that.
So, he's still going to be Spider-Man for 2 more movies, but it's not going to be MCU Spider-Man. So, again, it's just going to open so many plot holes, they were building up Spider-Man to be such a big thing in the next phase, or I guess in the next few phases. That now it's just kind of just an empty hole, and we're just gonna ignore it and never bring it up again. That kind of sucks, but that's just how these contracts go, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're actually still negotiating the whole Spider-Man thing, but as of right now, it looks like he won't be returning, which obviously does suck. And if you had to put the blame on one company, like you said, Disney, I would say as well.
Yeah.
Just because I think that they were asking way too much, especially since Sony didn't get anything from Spider-Man appearing in Civil War and the 2 other Avengers films. So, and he was obviously a huge part of those movies' success, I would say. So the fact that Marvel was let's do 50-50, it looks good on paper, and all those MCU stands were yeah, that sounds pretty good. It's no, that's really bad for Sony. And the fact that Sony did Into the Spider-Verse and that did well, and Venom, despite what you may say, it still made a shit ton of money.
It did, yeah.
And I think Tom Holland, he will do great in the role still. It just depends on what Sony will give him in terms of material, because I thought Andrew Garfield could have been really good, but corporate and stuff like that, they just had no idea what direction they wanted to take that character in. So hopefully It's a much clearer focus this time, and we don't focus on fucking Peter Parker's parents, because that was definitely the major downfall of the Andrew Garfield series, I would say. So whether they're going to try to continue the storyline that they left off after Far From Home, or they're just going to do a new story or whatever they want to do, I'm just excited to see Tom Holland in this role more, just because I love seeing him as his character. And then as for Black Panther 2, 2022, that sounds reasonable. It's going to be a while for those huge Black Panther fans, but just got to take time and don't want to rush a good movie as well. So I'm still very excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Joker final trailer. I think they only did 2 trailers, so the final trailer is the second trailer, which is good. Honestly, I think less trailers is much better. But yeah, there's like this whole other side of the whole like Joker movie thing. But first up, this trailer is pretty good, I would say. It really does portray what this movie wants to tell, is pretty much that society beat this guy down and turned him into the Joker, which some people will argue that like that's not a good sort of thing to show on a film. And I could see their point in that, but I'm still very excited to go and see this movie, because it's been getting praised a lot by critics. It's been receiving positive reviews, and I think a movie like this, a Joker backstory, when you think about it, it's like it's not supposed to be good, but I think that this movie will do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same way. Like, this trailer has the same vibe that the first one had, where it's like kind of like sad and stuff, and like really going over how like, yeah, like you said, this guy's just getting beat down by society and stuff, and now he's like the Joker or whatever. And again, it doesn't even show too much, which is great. Like, the problem with most trailers nowadays is they show way too much, and it's just like I kind of just watched the whole movie from the trailer. This trailer really just sets the mood, and like it doesn't tell you, like, it tells you just enough to like make you interested. So and the fact that it's getting good reviews is really piques my interest. Like, the first trailer alone already got me like, ooh, I want to see this. But now with all the praise it's been getting, it's looking quite good. And I think DC should just focus on like solo movies like this. Like, I feel like this is their thing. Like, they shouldn't make like an MCU or whatever, because they've done that and it just doesn't really work. They made some money, but it's not like, it's like, who really cares? No one really cares about Justice League the movie. Like, I didn't hear anyone talk about it. But when they make things like Shazam or Joker, they do really well. So I think they should just really focus on like just one hero, do their thing, and then move on. I feel like that's probably the best. And if you want to make like a sub-series, so you can have like a Joker series, you could do that, I guess. But I feel like that's probably the best way DC could go now. But I guess we gotta wait and see, because they've been doing pretty well with Shazam and Joker, so that's good.
The DCEU as a whole is just in a huge mess. There's no like real like cohesion going on right now. Yeah. So I wonder how they're gonna clean it up later, whether they're gonna do like a restart or whatever, because it definitely was obvious that they were trying to rush and get to Justice League, and then by the time they got to Justice League, it was like no one cares. So maybe if they actually took their time, they would be I wouldn't say on par with Marvel, because Marvel's been doing this for a long time, but they would be getting there in a much better shape. But once again, this Joker movie is definitely very exciting, and I cannot wait to go and see how well it does in the box office and how well audiences receive it.
Yeah. All right, so next we got another trailer. We got a trailer for Mario Kart Tour. So this was the Mario Kart iOS game we've been talking about. I feel like we covered this before, but this is the first trailer we've gotten. And yeah, it looks like Mario Kart, just on mobile. Some things I've noticed are, I noticed the characters using different skins and stuff, so I'm guessing that's going to be what you pay for, probably. Like, I saw Mario in like a tuxedo or whatever, and like Peach is wearing some like dress or whatever, so I'm guessing that's how they're going to monetize the game. And graphically, I mean, it looks pretty good. There was a lot of stages from Mario Kart DS I saw, like that one, I forgot what it was called, it was like Delfino something. And then Wario Pinball, like, I'm like, oh, those are from DS. I like that game. So, that's pretty cool. I'm not a fan of how most mobile games control. Like, if I'm going to play a mobile game, it's not something action-packed or, like, something that needs tight controls like Mario Kart. It's things like Fire Emblem Heroes or whatever. Even then, I don't play them that much. But if I do have to pick a game like that, it would be like something like Fire Emblem Heroes, where I kind of just use my hand to like pick a unit or whatever and attack, like something like not really that action packed, because controlling things with a virtual joystick or whatever is super awkward to me still, like it always has been. So that's probably going to stop me from really like playing this fully. But from what I've seen from this trailer, it looks pretty good. It looks like Mario Kart. So, yeah. If you could deal with like the whole virtual joypad, if they're gonna do that, then that looks fun to you. Then yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder if this one will stick. It probably won't. Just like most Nintendo mobile adventures so far.
The only one that has really sticked is Fire Emblem Heroes. So
yeah, and that's because it's like a weebs thing.
Yeah, waifu collection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a collection type of game as well. But yeah, Mario Kart on the phone, it's pretty much what this is. It doesn't look bad. I just want to see exactly how long people will actually stay attached to this. But as for myself, I'm still interested. Once it comes out, I will definitely give it a shot. And like you said, it's literally just Mario Kart on the phone, so there's nothing wrong with it, really.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so now we got Telltale Games Returning. It was purchased by someone that was just like, we want to revive this company.
It's like okay. It's like THQ Nordic, yeah? Like it was this like, it was Nordic, then they just bought the THQ name, and now they're just the THQ Nordic now. So it's kind of like the same thing here. So think of it like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they have the properties of The Wolf Among Us and Batman, I believe, right now. So, but they won't touch The Walking Dead, thank God, because Skybound owns it now. And good, because I don't want any more Walking Dead games.
Yeah, it's done. Let it lie, please.
Yeah. Then the Stranger Things game, I believe that won't happen unless they get the rights back from Netflix. So, but yeah, I mean, The Wolf Among Us, that's definitely very exciting for a lot of people, because they lost all hope in humanity once Telltale Games went under. They were like, wait, you just announced the second season to The Wolf Among Us, come on.
That made me really sad.
And for the Batman season 3 or whatever they want to do with that, I'm definitely intrigued, but I'm not too excited for it. I think the second season did a really good job as to like capturing the both sides of Batman and Bruce Wayne once again, but in a slightly better manner. But yeah, I mean, Telltale Games Returning, that's definitely gonna be very interesting. I think they're gonna look at a much different business model from like just releasing episodes like every other month or like every month or something like that, to like maybe doing like a binge watching sort of thing where they release all the episodes at once, maybe. Because they realize that they like the idea of binge watching, and a lot of other people do, which we'll talk about within the Disney Plus thing next. But yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting to go and see how they take Telltale games now and try to bring it up in the upcoming years of like 2020 and stuff like that.
Yeah, and again, I hope they learn from their mistakes, not to buy so many IPs, do nothing with it, and die. And probably abandon the episodic format, because I feel like no one really likes it anymore in terms of video games. Like, you know, with Life is Strange 2, like people will get really tired of waiting like 4-something months for the next episode. I just feel like that sort of business model is kind of dead. Like you kind of just have to release all of it at the same time. So I guess we'll see what they do. Hopefully they don't die again.
Like definitely doing the whole like releasing an episode every month or every other month is like a good way to like try to fix your mistakes and like whatever the story is or like gameplay and stuff like that. But you kind of have to like release everything at once just because of how people consume things these days, which we'll go into our next article.
Yeah, so Disney Plus, they're going to be releasing episodes weekly instead of like the whole binging thing that everyone's used to nowadays. So I think they're doing this just because they're like the discussion could be more alive each week. Like when an episode comes out, people could really talk about it, and it's like, you know, it's on the internet for a while, so people get hyped up. I mean, this is what I'm guessing, because when you release things as a binge thing, you kind of just watch all of it, and then like you talk about it for like a week, and then it's gone. With this, you know, it's like normal TV, where it's like you talk about the new episodes, like, whoa, dude, look at this, and it like it has traction for like how many episodes a week, you know, you're gonna do. So that's what I'm guessing why they're doing this.
Yeah. There's also other things that people have pointed out. So like the whole like binge culture sort of thing. Personally, I'm for it just because, you know, people want to consume the media right now and they want to consume it how they want to. So you could either binge it all at once or take it at your own pace, even do it weekly if you want to. But, you know, since other people are going to be binging it, by the time you finish it, it's probably going to be no one talking about it sort of thing.
Yeah.
So them doing it weekly, especially for like long form shows, you know, like 13 Reasons Why and like Game of Thrones even, you know, shows like that, when you binge it, things kind of blur together, like episodes blur together, and you can't necessarily remember like for example, I asked a coworker today, like, what episode of 13 Reasons Why they were on, and she said 4, and I was like, shit, what episode was that? Because, like, you know, I kind of just, like, watch 2 to 3 episodes at a time, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it all does blur together, but when you release it weekly, it does become a little bit more memorable as to which episode's which. Each episode has its own identity instead of just being one big-ass show and, like, an 8-hour movie or however many episodes it is, you know? But if this doesn't work out and people don't like it, obviously Disney will change it, and maybe they'll stick to the weekly format. Who knows? Maybe people will like it once again, but you know, it's just the way we're living now. People want things right now, which is why Amazon Prime is so popular, which is why binging is such a, you know, popular thing as well. So
yeah, again, I agree with you with everything, like sort of like just meshing together. Like, if you told me, like, what's your favorite episode of Stranger Things season 3, I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. Like, I guess the last one, I don't really know, because it all kind of blends in together as like a giant movie. So yeah, so that's probably why they're doing it. Again, could be some other reasons, but I do think it's just to generate discussion and stuff like that, so it's like relevant for longer, because, you know, Disney likes exposure and money. So the longer people talk about it, the more likely people might sign up and try to, you know, watch it with their friends or whatever, you know? So. Oh, yeah, it's also to keep people subscribed longer, too. Yeah, there you go.
Like, definitely, yeah, that as well. Be like, oh, shit, my subscription's going to run out, but the new episode comes out next week for whatever show, and it's like, guess I got to subscribe, you know?
Yeah.
So. All right, so now we're going to get into the much bigger, more drama-focused stories. So ProJared, he made a 43-minute response video, almost. You've Been Lied To, which is not the most fitting title for a response video, but he did finally respond. Obviously, it's way after everything has happened, but, you know, he wants to go and tell his side of the story and everything that's happened. And I watched the whole video, and he doesn't really talk about his relationship with Heidi all that much, I felt. For the most part, he's just saving his ass from the whole pedophilia stuff, like him sending nudes to, like, minors and stuff like that. Obviously, that's been proven wrong from his side, that wasn't true, and he has the receipts. And even, like, those people that came out and said that, like, yeah, I was underage, those responses are now deleted. So it's very clear that their way to get ProJared down was them telling lies that, yeah, I did do this thing when I was a minor and he was okay with it. But I believe ProJared that he did get consent and he did confirm that these people were 18 before he did all this stuff. But even then, like, sending nudes and, like, using your power, and, like, he even talks about, like, yeah, there was a power discrepancy, and even if there is, you shouldn't do this shit anyways, you know? So, like, he just found himself in a rabbit hole that he shouldn't have been in, and then now he's trying to, like, dig himself out of it in whatever way he can.
Yeah, I basically agree with everything you say. Like, I really personally don't care about the Heidi and him, the cheating thing, because it is kind of their deal. And Heidi doesn't seem like kind of like a good person either. Like, they both kind of seem kind of bad like in terms of that. Like,
they're both obviously telling their side of the story.
Yeah.
And Heidi's kind of just like, you know, she's the first one to take stand, and that's what the internet chose to, you know, side with and just cancel ProJared pretty much.
Yeah. So, like, that was never the concern for me. It was mostly this issue that he was talking about, like, you know, the nudes to underage people. But yeah, all the evidence he brought up was very convincing. Like, I believe him, like, 100%, and mostly because those two people ended up deleting their Twitter accounts and stuff. So I was like, yeah, they were probably full of shit. But again, that doesn't excuse him for why he even had a Tumblr in the first place, where he was accepting nudes and stuff. Like, it's just weird. Like, even if there weren't, like, even if he asked for consent and it's all like that, and even if he said, like, he didn't intentionally, like, try to use his power to get nudes, like, it's always going to be there. Like, you know, like, the people that are sending him these nudes or whatever are probably seeing, like, oh, notice me, senpai, you know? Like, it's always going to be, like, this weird power dynamic, even if he doesn't really mean it like that. Like, it's still going to be there if you like it or not. So, and again, just, like, why you have this? why you have a Tumblr where you accept the nude? Like, again, like, I like, you know, I believe him and everything he's saying, and I don't think he had, like, horrible intentions, like, or anything, but it's still, like, why? It's just such an easy way to sabotage yourself, you know?
Yeah, like he definitely didn't think this through or like think
Yeah.
ahead. He was just kind of just doing it like, fuck it, why not? Let's see what happens. But when you're in a position of power and when you rely on the internet for your goddamn job, you probably shouldn't mess around with the internet.
Yeah.
So, I've no idea how well he's going to recover for this. The most surprising thing was when I actually clicked on this video and I didn't realize that there weren't that many dislikes.
Yeah.
Were you that surprised too?
Yeah, I was, because I was like, oh, I wonder what could he possibly say? And then he really did. Like, it was a good video. Like, he really brought up all the points. He really covered all his bases. And I think the problem with him is he made like a statement like maybe like a week after everything happened, like on Twitter, and it was like kind of a bad apology. And it's just like, all right, everyone just dismissed him as like, oh, he has nothing. I personally think he should have not said anything at all until this point with all this evidence, and it would have been like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
it
feel
definitely
like
would have been much better instead of him like,
he's
saying
doing,
those half-ass apologies.
Yeah, he's doing like the mature thing you would do is get lawyers and crap and like actually get all this evidence and stuff. So he did the right thing. So, but yeah, and I guess he is right about the cancel culture. Like, I mean, I don't use Twitter, but I know I barely go to Twitter because of how toxic it could be a lot of the time. I just don't mess with it. But yeah, the cancel culture is pretty real. Like, I just see there's like a lot of people just like clown on people and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It could be pretty bad. So he has a point there, but again, it's a two-way thing, because it's like why you have the Tumblr thing in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. Cancel culture is very real on Twitter because people will 100% side with whatever person speaks up first. And it is weird or very convenient that ProJared dropped this video right when Heidi was going to go to Dragon Con or whatever. So, like, that was a little, like, too convenient. But, maybe he just wasn't thinking about that. But maybe he was. We don't know, obviously. But Heidi still went to Dragon Con and interacted with fans, I believe, and stuff like that. And she's been dropping receipts on Twitter, which I haven't gone through yet because I'm just like, this shit's just out of control at this point. Despite it being really, like, heavy a couple months ago, now it's just like they're both telling their sides. They both have the receipts now, but I'm just not interested anymore. I know that ProJared, he pretty much stated in the video that's like, I don't care if you're interested or not, I just want you to hear my side, which, I did. But, I think that both sides are very wrong, no matter in like certain aspects of the situation. Obviously, like certain things seem a little more black and white and other things are in the gray area. So,
yeah, I agree with that. Again, like, I don't know if I fully forgive him because I'm just like, why? Again, it's just like why I have the Tumblr in the first place. But I guess I could see like, it's a bit better now, but still, it's still a little hard to. I mean, I still don't think it's as bad as what JonTron did, and like no one talks about it, and it's like it's fine. Like I still don't like watch JonTron stuff just because of all the things he said. I'm like that's horrible. At least with ProJared, it just seems like he's just very messed up sexually or something. Like I don't know what's wrong with him. But, like, I don't know. That's better than being, like, super racist, so.
I mean, like, he definitely was hooking up with Holly, but, like, Ross knew about it and Heidi knew about it. But, like, no one else knew about it. So, like, it's very easy for, like, those people to, like, twist it in a certain way, So, but, yeah, I mean, like, JonTron people will stand by him no matter what, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, like. But yeah, I guess it's just like whatever. Like you either forgive him or not at this point. So, like if he makes a video, I don't know, I might watch it. I don't know. It depends. Like, and he brought up some good evidence and stuff like that, and that's all there is.
He definitely saved his behind on one side of the aspect of the situation with the whole, sending nudes to minors, but on the other side with the whole Heidi and him, that's still like up in the air, I would say. But
yeah, like
that's all I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, if that's the part you're concerned with, then just like good luck with that because that's probably gonna go on for a while. All right, but we got more drama, so it's not over yet. Apparently, someone leaked a dub of Dragon Ball, and I believe this was Dragon Ball Z, not Super, where various characters say racial slurs. Well, not racial slurs. I guess racial slurs. I don't know.
Racial, homophobic.
Yeah, homophobic.
Weird. Just a bunch of weird, not safe for work jokes. So if you're gonna click on this article, then I'm gonna link the complex article. Make sure you're wearing headphones because this shit it definitely gets a little weird.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so there's various audio clips of Goku saying the other F word. You got Krillin saying some stuff, Hercule, Chi-Chi doing some weird stuff. Got this whole like role playing bit where Yamcha, I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, it's really weird and kind of bad.
Okay, so the whole like major thing that a lot of people are talking about is that like is obviously like against Funimation's guidelines or whatever about like what's it called, like sexual harassment or something like that. Like it's just not okay to do at the workplace, obviously. So and then they like fired a guy named Vince a while back because of something that he did related to like sexual harassment. I'm not entirely sure what the full story is here, but pretty much whatever they did here, why do they have to hit the record button and then hit save? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, you know, these voice actors making these jokes, obviously, they'll do that on their free time, whatever the hell they want to do behind closed doors. But now this is leaked, and it's out there. And now we have, like, Goku saying these things and Chi-Chi doing whatever the hell that was. And, you know, like, now it's going to be hard for me to, like, support Funimation in a way that, like, you know, I'm probably not going to watch any dubs from them anymore just because of, like, this incident. Because I feel like that, you know, them firing someone over something similar to this, but not to this extreme, I would say, it seems a bit wrong and very ironic. So, obviously, I don't know the full story here. I'm a little, you know, uneducated on everything here. But, you know, am I going to cancel Funimation? I guess I will, just for myself personally. But yeah, like this leak's just very, very weird. And I believe Christopher Sabat, he's the voice of Vegeta and All Might
and Piccolo.
Yeah, he's trying to like saying that like this was like a sabotage or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what he said, but you know, he's pretty much just trying to defend himself. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. This is kind of hard to get out of.
I would kind of just own up to it and just say like, yeah, sorry.
I feel like we fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard for people nowadays just to say, whoops, we made a mistake. Like I feel like people are way more receptive to that if you just say like, we're like real sorry. Like if you just kind of like be like, no, but it was actually like this, it just kind of makes you look worse. Even if it was quote unquote sabotage, like I think you should just take it, right? Like I feel like it's the only option you have at this point. Just be like, yeah, we did that. Like we're really sorry, you know? Like I feel like you're garnering more support that way and try to like, you know.
What do the kids say these days? Just take the L, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, like at that point you just kind of just like have to take it and be like, oh, we're sorry. And I feel like people would probably be more like apologetic to that. So
yeah, and like now if you go on Christopher Sabat's Twitter, his @ is voice of Vegeta, and you go on like some of his recent tweets, you just go to the replies, it's just a bunch of memes and it's so funny. And I'm just like, man, everyone just loves clowning on people within like drama and controversy, which is great because you know memes come out of it, but that must get really annoying. But you know, like Jesus Christ, I never thought I would hear these voice actors say these, you know, things, obviously. And the fact that they recorded this and were actually in the recording process and then hit save and then save them somewhere and then this somehow got leaked. And supposedly this was obtained through like 100% like legally. Like he didn't like, you know, take them like illegally. So yeah, it's just very interesting because now I think a lot of people are, you know, contemplating whether or not they want to continue watching Funimation dubs or not, I would say.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I mean, like, I was going to say something, I forgot. But yeah, basically just oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. I just like, why do these things? Like, same thing with ProJared. Why are you having a Tumblr with nudes? Why are you saving these audio clips? Like, I don't understand. It's not that hard. Like, you can mess
around. This shit will be funny later. It's like, no, it won't, bro.
Yeah, like it's funny if you're just doing it with each other, I guess. But why save it? Like, what's the point of that? It's just gonna haunt you later. So yeah, I really don't get it. But yeah, everyone is. You can't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone, kids.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like now the Dragon Ball English dub is just tainted now, like forever.
I have like Goku saying the F word in my mind. But I can't go back to Granny Goku. Granny Goku sucks. Come on, dude. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, God. All right.
now we got the Nintendo Direct that happened the other day. So
Yeah. All right, so
got some notes here. So we're just gonna, I guess we'll just like take turns. So first up, Overwatch. That was a pretty cool announcement. I think that was gonna happen eventually, but now we finally have it on the Switch. So that is gonna be very cool to go and see how that plays out. How much or how many people actually want to buy it again on the Switch, or even buy it for the first time and try it out. And Overwatch is still a pretty popular game, so I wonder how this is gonna do. And it's gonna release October 15th, which is pretty soon.
There was news though that it's gonna be in 30 frames instead of 60, so that's pretty bad.
Yes.
So yeah, that's not great. But next we got Luigi's Mansion 3, which again comes out in Halloween. And they showed off the Scream Park, which is a bunch of multiplayer mini games, which could have up to 8 players, I think, with Luigi's and Luigi's.
I think they said 8. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a lot. It looks like this game just has a ton of content. Like it already has like the tower, like the Scream Tower, whatever it's called, from Dark Moon, and now it's having the Scream Park. So it really is emphasizing like multiplayer a lot. And again, it's still gonna have the mansion and stuff, obviously, but it's cool that they have a bunch of multiplayer stuff. If you could you play them online? Probably not, because it's Nintendo. But it'll be fun local stuff, I guess. So. But yeah, it definitely looks like this game's gonna be worth the $60 right now, because they're adding like a bunch of content to it, so that's good.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's gonna be worth that $60, just because of like all of like the different levels you can explore within the hotel and stuff like that. So, then they announced a free-to-play Kirby game, Super Kirby Clash. It is out right now. I believe you played it, so if you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I could talk about it now. Basically, it plays like. So they released a Kirby Clash. Actually, it was a mini game in Robobot. It was like a little tiny one of those mini games that you could play, and it's basically just Kirby Monster Hunter. Like you have like a quest board. You have 4 classes. You pick your class. You take on a quest. You beat like whatever boss monster there is, and then you get like like not monster parts, but you get like these like fire, water, and lightning fragments, and you can use those to make gear and stuff. So it's very much just Kirby Monster Hunter, which is fun. The problem with these games is they are free to start, which means that you're going to have to put money in it at some point. Because the way the monetization works is you can buy these crystal apples, and you're going to need those like crystal apples to open new quests, to craft things for basically everything. But there is a thing where you could only spend $40 on this game. So once you spend $40, you can no longer buy crystal apples. So you're basically buying like the game at that point. And the benefit from buying 40 crystal apples is you get 5,000 of them, but also you get this tree, and every day you could get a bunch of them, like every day. So right now I put like $2 in the game, just using whatever like coins I have on my account, for free, just so I could get some currency to play it. But basically when you spend more money, you like level up this tree, and then every day you get apples depending on how much money you spend on the game. So I'm like level 3, so I only get like 30 apples a day or whatever, so that's the amount I get. If you reach the max level by spending $40, you get like 2,000 apples a day. So it's basically like that currency is non-relevant anymore. So do I think it's worth $40? Probably not. I don't think there's enough stuff really to keep it that interesting for that long, or just for that amount of money. But if you want like just buy the game, you can. But yeah, overall it's a fun game. Like it's not too special. It's exactly like the 3DS game. It's just like Kirby Monster Hunter, and there you go. There's not much else to say about it. It's a fun time, but probably not worth spending that much money on it.
Okay, then we got Trials of Mana HD remake. That actually looked pretty good graphically. That'll come out April 24th, 2020.
Yeah. Then we got Return of the Obra Dinn, which is a indie game. It's a spooky pirate investigation game. Yeah,
that's exactly what I called it.
That's about exactly what it is. It's sort of like you kind of investigate this like old ship, and you get to see, you have like this watch that like puts you back in time. You can see the events of what happened, so you gotta solve like murders and stuff. I saw a streamer play it, so yeah, it looks pretty good, and it's a good fit for the Switch, because why not bring everything on the Switch.
Yep. Fall 2019 is that game. Yeah. And then we got Little Town Hero. The FPS, I don't know if it was just my stream, but the FPS in this game looked really bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't know why, because it doesn't really look like much is happening. I mean, it's made by Game Freak, so they don't know what they're doing most of the time.
Jesus Christ. They rushed that game out so it could keep focusing on Pokemon, but Pokemon's probably not going to run that well either. Anyways.
The music is actually...
Banjo.
I just... No. Yeah. One more thing about... one more thing about Little Town Hero was the music was actually composed by Toby Fox, which is Undertale guy.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Toby Fox getting the recognition he deserves, honestly.
Yes, and we'll talk about that a little later. So yeah, Banjo's in Smash. He came out yesterday. Whenever you watch this podcast, it came out on Friday, right? Yeah, Friday, right? No, when was
whenever
before?
The direct dropped.
Thursday. No, wait, Wednesday. I'm losing track. I don't even know what day it is. Whatever. Thursday he came out, and I guess I could talk about Banjo now too because it's relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah, Banjo came out. He's really fun. He has like barely no gimmicks. Like he is a very honest character. You know, the last two characters that came out, I love all the DLC characters that came out, by the way. But you know, Joker has Arson, which is pretty controversial, and then Hero, which is just, you know, he's just a whole bag of fun.
Just down B.
Yeah, just like a bunch of RNG. I think he's super fun. Like, I love Hero, but yeah, he's kind of BS. Banjo is just a very simple character. You know, what you see is what you get. His only real special mechanic is Wonder Wing, which is his side B, where you can only use it 5 times each stock. So you can only use the side B 5 times every time you have a stock. And that's because it is a very strong move. Like, it's a really good recovery. It could kill really early, and it does a bunch of damage. And you could it has super armor, so you, like, when you use it, you can't, like, no one can hurt you. And that's about really the only thing he has, like, only like really special thing. All his other moves are pretty basic. You know, he has 2 projectiles, a decent recovery, like 3 jumps. You know, his normal attacks are pretty simple. You know, he's just an honest character, and he's really fun, honestly. Like, he feels like someone that should have been in Smash since like Brawl. Like that, this feels like a moveset like from Brawl, and it's kind of refreshing, honestly, because a lot of the characters we've been getting recently are very, you know, complex. They have a bunch of different mechanics, and that's also, you know, that's also fun. I think having just a really like simple character like Banjo is kind of refreshing as well. So yeah, I've been enjoying him a lot.
And then we got Terry from Fatal Fury confirmed for November 2019. He is the 4th fighter, right? So we have one more for this pack.
Yeah, but then they said more fighters are going to be outside the Fighter Pass 1. So there's going to be even more DLC, which is great.
Yeah, they didn't say a number, but they're pretty much like, yeah, there's going to be more fighters after the 5. So hopefully Sakurai doesn't overwork himself. But these are just characters we're talking about here. So
yeah, I mean, I know they take a lot of time too, but you know, if there was any game to really just keep updating characters, I feel like Ultimate's the best one. You know, a lot of people like Ultimate, and just like adding more characters because he doesn't know when he could ever have an opportunity to have this many characters again. Just keep adding to it, dude. Like, just do it. Just keep the hype rolling for like another year, because why not?
Then we got some Link's Awakening HD. Yeah. September 20th is still the release date. Still looks good. Very excited for it.
Yeah. So, and then we got, again, Dragon Quest 11 also coming out September 27th. So a lot in September. And then here's a surprising one. Tokyo Mirage Session Encore. So it's a remaster, or I guess a port of Tokyo Mirage Session, which is, you know, Fire Emblem X Shin Megami Tensei, basically. So I mean, I played this before. The combat is very good because it's just Persona, but the story is not good. Is like when I think of Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem, the last thing I think of is like idols and pop and stuff. It's too much, dude. Like I guess it feels like it wasn't really made for Americans in mind, unless you really like J-pop and stuff. But for me personally, you know, I expected something a little more serious than what we got. But you know, I know this game has a very like cult following, so for those people, then there you go, you have it here.
Yeah, just another Wii U exclusive down the drain and going onto the Switch.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this game like maybe last month or something. I was like, this game's still on the Wii U, right? I wonder if they're actually going to port it, and it looks like they did. So
yeah,
January 17, 2020 to those interested in revisiting it or just playing it for the first time, which I might, depending if I have time. Then we got some Deadly Premonition stuff. They announced a sequel, and then they also said the first game's coming to the eShop or something like that. So
apparently this was like a super cult classic game that came out on like the 360, because apparently it's like heavily inspired by Twin Peaks. I've heard about it recently, like before this direct, but I didn't really know about it until that point. But I know a lot of people are very excited for it to get, 1, ported on Switch, and 2, to have a sequel. So that's pretty cool for those people that are looking forward to that. So next we got Doom 64, also re-releasing in November 22nd. Apparently, Doom 64 never came out on anything else besides the 64s. I guess this is the first port of it ever. So that's pretty big news. I know a lot of people love, this is probably people's favorite Doom also. So again, that's also very good for those people. I might pick it up. I mean, I love Doom, so I might try it out if it's not too expensive. And, if Bethesda doesn't mess it up. 'Cause,
Yeah. It's going to be really hard to mess up a HD remake.
Yeah.
Then we got High Res's Row Company.
Yeah,
this game looked very generic and boring.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like it just looked like just shoot people and you have some colorful characters, I guess. But nothing really.
You guys know the Overwatch train was like years ago, right?
Yeah, it's High Res. All they do is like steal people's ideas, like Smite and what else they made? They have an Overwatch clone of their own, Paladins, and then they have they had a BR game. I forgot what it was called. But whatever.
Shit. I think I know what you're talking about.
I think they had a BR.
Battle Royale. Fuck. What was the game? Fucking Realm Royale, bro.
Oh, Realm Royale. See what I mean? Yeah, like all they do is like go for the trends, and it's like really annoying. So yeah, I don't really like that company that much, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Realm Royale was fun for a while, and then it was just like, man, this game sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, honestly, because all they do is like they keep getting lazier and lazier because they released a game that's barely finished now, like just to like get on with the trend. I'm like, ugh. But yeah. Anyway, now we got Pokemon Sword and Shield. Again coming out November 15th. And it showed 2 new Pokemon, Poltegeist, and it's the Poltergeist in a teapot, so that's kind of cute. And got a bird, like a pelican looking thing, and it shoots a fish out of its mouth, so that's also kind of cool. And basically, I don't know why they're making a big deal out of Pokemon Camp when it's just Pokemon and Me from like X and Y and Sun and Moon. I'm like, it's literally Pokemon and Me, except like they run around a bit more. So they're basically just rebranding it, and you can like cook now, so that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, cooking, and then the customization with your character or whatever.
Yeah, so the customization did look pretty cool. It's a lot more I can't say the word. You know what I mean? It looks
robust.
A lot more. Yeah, there you go. It's a lot more than Sun and Moon. Like you could change your hair and a bunch of other things, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then we got SNES games on the Switch Online finally. It only took them a year into the Switch Online. They even said it's like, last year we launched Switch Online. Now we're bringing you SNES games. So I'm like, shit, guys, really? But those games launched yesterday.
Yes.
And yeah, that is pretty cool. I mean, SNES games, me and you both like them a lot more than NES games because NES games are just so much more simpler, but SNES games have a little bit more depth to them.
Yeah, and it was a decent lineup too. You have like Super Metroid, Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island. So there was some big games in there. So yeah, we're one step closer. It'll be cool to get N64 games as well, maybe next year, but I highly doubt that. But we'll see, I guess.
One of these days.
We'll see. Next, it was a Tetris 99 update. Basically, they added like a bunch of like daily missions. You can unlock different skins for like your board and stuff, and that's honestly pretty cool. It keeps people to play some more if you suck like I do. I'm horrible
also
at Tetris, so.
They added like a sort of ranked mode or something.
Oh yeah, they added like Elite Smash. Like
yeah, it's like if you won a game you can play this mode now. I'm like, only one game? You need to only win one game? All right.
I haven't won a game.
I don't think I have either, but they're also dropping a physical edition on September 6th. So Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Games, they added retro events, which was very cool to see. And I'm kind of excited for this, not gonna lie. It's like, sort of like a low-key excitement sort of thing that I'm looking forward to. It's gonna drop November 5th, so that is very cool.
Yeah, they also they're having like a story mode, so that's kind of cool, I guess, too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they're bringing story modes back for games that don't really need them, because it's like, why not? Just put it in a little story mode for just fun. I don't know.
Yeah, especially for these like multiplayer focused games, like just having a story mode to like those people that unfortunately don't have like friends available or whatever the case may be, for them to just still play the game.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Next, I think it's a Star Wars. No, Star Wars.
Star Wars
Jedi Knight 2. That's coming out September 24th. I didn't play any of the Jedi Knights games. I played the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2 during the PS2 days, so I don't really have nostalgia for this series in particular, but it is getting ported, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were very excited about this on Twitter. So.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, they showed a bunch more gameplay for it. A couple new mechanics, like there's like this rod where you could hop over rivers and stuff, and like
nice.
There's just a lot of things that they showed up that I can't remember on the top of my head, but I'm still very excited for the game.
Yeah, I mean the game looks beautiful too. Like I know it's not like Animal Crossing is a pretty simplistic looking game, but it just looks really nice. With all the crafting systems now, and you have like this weird like Nook mileage thing or something, so you could do like little quests and get stuff, I guess. So yeah, it looks really good, and I'm very excited for that game.
Also, the multiplayer where it's up to 7 other people, I was just like, that's gonna be fucking chaos.
Yeah, you have a bunch of players with you now, and in your island. So yeah, that's also really neat. And again, they're getting more mileage off your Nintendo Switch Online. So there you go. And then next is something that excited me. They're making a remake of Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's also coming out in 2020. They didn't really say, it's just 2020. And I think this game was very due for a remake. One, just to get more people to play it, because the original Xenoblade Chronicles is amazing. And 2, just so the game actually looks good. Because Xenoblade Chronicles, like the environments always looked really nice, but the faces looked real bad in the Wii. So like Shulk's face was just pixels. So it's nice to they're kind of like they're basically using the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 engine. Like it looks exactly like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that's nice. Every character looks a lot more expressive than it did during the Wii days. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I know some people were hoping for a Xenoblade 3, but I think this is just as good, honestly. Like a lot of people still haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, so I think having an easy way to play it on the Switch is great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, also if they're going to continue Shulk's story and they want to do like a Xenoblade 3, this would be a great way for them to gauge exactly how much people actually want to see another Xenoblade, you know? So that's why I always am for HD remakes, no matter what game it is, because it gives the developers and the company to, have an idea as to where people, do they actually want more of this, or, is this just another port that's just not going to get that much traction, So, but there was some other stuff afterwards that I didn't write down here, but they did a whole showcase on Banjo like they did with Hero, and then they showed off a bunch of other Mii costumes, and I'll let you talk about that, Damian.
Yeah, Sans. For some reason, Sans is a Mii costume, which people ended up talking about that more than Terry, so sorry, Terry. But yeah, Sans is a Mii costume, and honestly, it looks really good. Like, it's probably one of the best quality Mii costumes. It also comes with Megalovania as a new remix by Toby Fox himself, and it's very good. And yeah, it's just really cool to see like just indie game character like Sans just in Smash. Even though he's a Mii costume, it's still really cool to see, and with music from Undertale in Smash. Like, it's just such a weird thing to look at. And I know Sans is kind of a meme now, but like Undertale is still a very good game, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, I don't even know, is Undertale on Switch? I think it is.
I believe so.
Okay, well, yeah, I think everyone should play Undertale. It's a very good game, and it's just really weird to see him in Smash, but it's also really cool. So yeah.
I think the reason why people were so surprised about Sans is because he was just a meme for a while. Like, yeah, man, he's definitely going to be in Smash. And then it's like, oh, shit, he's actually in Smash. Wow.
I laughed really hard, dude. Like, I told you before, but I laughed so hard when I saw Sans. I'm like, why?
Yeah. So, I was kind of just watching that, like, end of the live stream part, and I was just like, all right, Mii costumes, cool. Pretty much all of these characters are not going to be as like full-fledged characters, whatever. And then that Sans costume came up, and I was like, this is like the best Mii costume out of all of them, just because it's a full head-to-toe costume, so they could actually get the character to look right.
He doesn't have that stupid Mii face. Like, it's actually like it's Sans' face, so that's cool. Yeah,
that is definitely very cool. All right, so now we're going to get into our recent activities. So I'll go first, actually. Okay. So I got some games here. I played a little bit of League. I think I'm still decent at the game. Mechanics-wise, not all there, but I think game knowledge, I still know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing, thank God. But I'm probably not going to play League for the rest of the year until the end of October, just because I need to rest my wrist and make sure that I don't actually fuck them up and have to get surgery or some shit. So I'm just going to try to play damage control right now and just go cold on League of Legends. So the other game I decided to finally try out was Fire Emblem Three Houses. I went with the Blue House, by the way.
Yeah.
I forget the name because yeah. What is it, Blue Lion, right?
Yeah, Blue Lions.
Okay, yeah, because you like cut out there. Anyways, yeah, I mean, like, when it comes to story for Fire Emblem, I'm never like too big on it. Even on Awakening, like Awakening is my favorite Fire Emblem game, but the reason why I love that game so much is because the gameplay was just so much fun. But with this game's story, it's definitely very interesting because you have like that whole like teacher aspect, which is very shoehorned in, I feel, because it's like, hey, he's a mercenary, fuck it, have him teach to these kids. I'm like, wait, what?
It does come pretty weirdly. I'm like, oh, that's how that happens? Okay.
Yeah, so, but you know, it is still Fire Emblem to its core in terms of the gameplay, and you're still building relationships and you're still leveling up your students in many different ways however you want to. And yeah, you know, it's still Fire Emblem. I hate when I have to like explore the school. Like when I have to do that, I'm like, man, all I'm doing is just holding B and running around and just talking to people and just skipping the dialogue.
Hey,
like that's all I do. But
I'm so used to it because I play like 3 Persona games and that's what you do. So I'm like, oh, this is just Persona and I love it. So it's interesting to see the different reactions there.
Yeah, me personally, I'm just like, I'm not too big on it. At first I was like, you know, listening to all of, you know, the nicely voice acted, you know, dialogue, and then I'm just like, fuck it, just get me to the next battle pretty much. That's how I am as a Fire Emblem player. But still, I'm having a good time with it. Every single time I kill a unit by accident, I always restart the game 100%. Because I'm just like, I can't fucking lose this unit because he's so strong. So yeah. I think that's what happened the last time I played it. Then I restarted it, and then I had to go to work. So then I've been watching some things. Patriot with Hassan Minhaj. I finally got to pronounce his name correctly. Once again, it's like a political comedy sort of show. It's on Netflix, and there's topics that are ranging from serious like Saudi Arabia to like things like Supreme and like Amazon and like hip hop and streaming. So like if some of that stuff interests you, like any of these episodes, you should definitely try to take a look at because he is a funny ass dude. And then I watched some Hunter x Hunter because I've, you know, need to rest my wrist and I need to find other things to do. So I believe I'm 3 episodes in. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. I am very interested to see how this show plays out because I believe there's no more episodes coming out, I believe.
Oh, is that over?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but
this is like One Piece for me, where I'm just like, isn't there like a bajillion episodes of this?
Yeah, it's like 150 or something like
Jesus,
that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the final episode aired in 2014.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Yeah. Definitely interested to go and see how this all plays out because I'm liking it so far, not gonna lie. And then I watched 13 Reasons Why season 3 in its entirety. I know I'm a fucking madman because this season is all about trying to sympathize with Bryce Walker and his attempt to change, and I'm just like, no, you built this character up for 2 seasons to be a fucking dickhead, and now you want me to sympathize with him? All right, I can see he's trying to change, but I still don't believe it no matter what. But the main thing that'll hook you if you happen to watch this season is to find out, spoiler alert, who killed Bryce Walker. But they fucking showed this off in the trailer. Like straight up, like one of the first trailers, it's like who killed Bryce Walker, and I'm like, oh shit, what is this, fucking Riverdale now? Which it isn't, because they jump back between the past and present a lot, which at first I was like, all right, this shit's gonna get annoying, but like it actually got more interesting as the show went on. But yeah, like when I got to the end, I was just like, all right, well, season 4 is supposedly the last season, and I can't wait for that because I don't want to watch this show anymore.
Yeah, like I stopped, like I watched 2 episodes or something of season 2, and I was just like, nah. Like I feel like, because I read the book in like middle school, I'm like, it's good, and then I watched the show, I'm like, it's really good, and then season 2 came out, I'm like, it just wasn't necessary to me, so I kind of just stopped there.
The main thing that I think a lot of people hated, including myself, when it came to season 2 was because, first off, they had to write a whole new story with these characters, and they were like, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah.
And then they also rewrote some of, like, Hannah's past in a way with, like, the trial and everything. So I was like, all right, whatever. They're going to do that. That's what they want to do. But moving on. Kick-Ass. That's a old-ass movie now. I think it's almost 10 years old.
Yeah, that is really old now.
But yeah, I watched it because I was just like, fuck it, why not? You know, because like superhero movies are pretty big now, so I want to go and see how this one, as like one of the first rated R superhero movies, I think, before like Deadpool and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, it still holds up. You know, it is a little cheesy and corny, but you know, it's a fucking comic book movie, so it is what it is. I want to watch the second one, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. I ordered it recently, so I'll talk about that next podcast. Because every single time I think about Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2 in terms of the movies, I always thought Kick-Ass 2 was better, but maybe that I'm a little bit older, I might think otherwise, but we'll just have to wait and see. Ready or Not, that is a movie currently in theaters now, I believe, still. It's pretty much a R-rated hide-and-seek movie. Oh. It is very interesting. So pretty much the premise of the movie is that this woman marries into this family, and the family, as a tradition, they play a game, and one of the games is hide and seek, and in hide and seek, they have to fucking kill the new bride, or else their family, something bad happens to their family, pretty much. And it's really fucked up and interesting and just really like funny satire sort of thing, because like they know what this movie is, and they sort of like play to it in a way with like some comedic moments and this and that. But yeah, it is what I expected as a R-rated hide-and-seek movie. Then I watched Spider-Man Far From Home again, but it was the extended cut where they added like 6 minutes of footage or whatever. Honestly, it kind of made the movie a little bit better because it added that one fight scene in the trailer where he's like the Iron Spider and he's taking out all of those like gang members or whatever the hell they were.
Yeah.
And then some other things with him as like Peter Parker picking up his passport and this and that. So, yeah, I mean, like those scenes definitely could have been in the final cut and it wouldn't have broken up the pace whatsoever. I feel like the beginning of the movie, which is where they added some scenes in, was a little rushed because you kind of just like, all right, here's Peter, he's in school, all right, now he's on the plane and he's going to Europe, and I'm like, how did we get there? But they actually show how you get there, sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I do feel like, yeah, when he's just like in school and then, oh, we're going to Europe, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's it.
I guess I'll talk about my stuff. I'm also playing Fire Emblem again. I did the Golden Deers run, was my first run, and I talked about that. But now I'm also doing Blue Lions for my second run. And yeah, I like these kids a lot too. I don't think they're as good as Golden Deers because they were the first kids I had, and they were like, I like these characters. But the Blue Lions definitely have a lot more going for them pre-time skip. Like there's a lot more things that directly happen to the characters of that class. So it makes it a lot more interesting, honestly. And yeah, and once you really like, again, you don't have to play other routes to really get the full story. At least not for Golden Deers, but with the other characters, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. Like, you know, you get a satisfying ending no matter what, but playing throughout the other houses really fleshes it out super hard, and I love it. Like, it's just like you get like so much more details on everything. You understand why things are happening, and it's great. Like, I love this game. You know, I don't think the story is good, but obviously not like the best thing, like amazing thing ever, but it's still really good. Like, I think it's probably the best Fire Emblem story we had like ever, or at least for the 3DS games anyway. Because I played all the 3DS games, you know, Awakening Fates and Shadows of Valentia, and Shadows of Valentia was really close, but it was still like, you know, pretty generic bad guy and stuff. And this game, once you get to a certain point, it's like, whoa, dude, it gets real good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this game. It's probably my favorite Fire Emblem. So yeah, I've been highly enjoying my second run through right now. Secondly, Steven Universe the movie came out, and this basically acts as the epilogue of the series. Supposedly, like, there's supposed to be more seasons. I'm like, I just don't know like why. Like, even when the finale of the show, I'm just like, do we really need anything else? And I guess like, okay, I guess we do. But then it's like after this movie, I'm like, why are we doing more? So basically, this movie again acts as an epilogue, and it kind of recaps everyone's growth. Like, you know, it shows Garnet's growth again, Pearl's growth, and Amethyst's growth, and Steven and how he changed as a person and stuff like that. At first, I thought it was a little, like, I don't know why they were doing the things they were doing. Like, why are we going over Garnet's things again? Like, what's the point of this? It's kind of just wasting time because we have, like, 4 episodes in the show already, like, talking about this. And when I thought about it more, I'm like, okay, it's basically showing how much his character has changed throughout the whole show. And I guess it does work, again, as an epilogue. The new villain was really cool. I really liked Spinel as a villain. She was really fun and sympathetic and stuff like that. And the animation was just really good. You know, Steven Universe and like this high quality of animation is just really weird. Since the show like it's always like beautifully drawn and stuff like that, but when characters move, it could look a little weird. But in this one, everything looks super smooth and it looks great. So overall, obviously you shouldn't watch it if you haven't watched the show up till the end, because it's literally the end of the show. But if you have caught up, you should watch it, because there's no reason really not to watch it. It's also a musical, because Steven Universe has a bunch of songs in it anyway, so it kind of felt inevitable that a movie would just be a musical. And I thought most of the songs were really catchy and stuff. So yeah, overall it felt like a good ending. And if we're getting more, then I guess we're getting more. But honestly, I really don't feel like we need any more, but we are getting more. So there you go. Next, I already talked about Kirby. Next, I played the Daemon X Machina demo. That's that mech game that's coming out real soon, like September 13th, I think. Yeah. And I played the demo beforehand. I think they released it summer. I think summer they released a demo. And they basically want to use that demo to get a bunch of feedback. And most of my complaints have kind of been gone from this demo. It seems they really listened. A lot of the guns actually feel satisfying to shoot now. Like, last time the controller didn't rumble, and like just the animation when you shoot just wasn't that satisfying. Now there's like a nice hefty rumble when you shoot things, and it feels really nice. Flying feels a lot less janky now. Like, I feel like I can actually hover in the air while like descending, like, and stuff. It felt very awkward before this demo, but now flying feels really good. The frame rate, it's still a little shaky. Like when you fight a big robot, it gets pretty bad, the frame rate, unfortunately. But when you're just doing regular missions with a bunch of little enemies, it feels really good. Like, it's a stable, like 30 frames. I don't notice any drops. And it seems, again, it has improved from the last demo, but it seems when you're fighting a giant boss mech, it still gets pretty, like, not great. So, again, hopefully they can fix that, but I really doubt they can. This game seems a little too big for something like the Switch, but I appreciate the effort nonetheless. But yeah, overall, it's a really fun game. I don't think it's going to do super well, because apparently people just don't like mech games, and it's being released in a really like competitive time. You got Borderlands coming out, Zelda's coming out, and a bunch of other games. So yeah, it might get buried, which is kind of sad, but I'm probably still going to pick it up when it comes out. So yeah. And the last thing I've played was Pokemon Masters. This was the mobile game that came out about like a week ago. And basically it's Pokemon, a Pokemon gacha game. So think of Fire Emblem Heroes. It's like that, but with Pokemon. And yeah, it basically plays exactly how you would think. You have teams of 3, and you send out your Pokemon, and the battles kind of play like Pokemon, except it's like real time. So like it actually plays a lot like Final Fantasy, like the older Final Fantasies, with the active time battles where you use a move and then you wait for it to charge up, and then you can switch to your other party members. It's actually kind of fun. And it doesn't really feel like a gimped version of Pokemon. It just feels like a different way to play it, which is nice. But I guess it's kind of gimped where I think you can only have like 2 moves for a Pokemon and like a supercharge move. But regardless, it plays pretty good. And the models are also really nice. Like the expressions the characters have in this game are like really good. And it kind of makes me wish Sword and Shield had these sort of like animations and stuff for the trainers, because every trainer feels like super like nice. Like, they have like a bunch of expressions and stuff. They have voice acting. So these are like things that I would have expected Sword and Shield to have at this point, but it doesn't. So that's sad. But overall, it's pretty fun. I know there's some problems with the monetization and stuff, where like usually these gacha games gives you like free currency and stuff. Well, apparently you can't really use that free currency to summon things. Like, you have to buy it or something. It's some weird stuff. But again, I'm not really playing it like hardcore like that, so I can't really tell you. But overall, I think it's a decent gacha game. There's a lot of fun little things, like little character moments and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I've been doing.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Because you saved last week's episode.
No, that's it.
All right, so that is it for episode 19 of the Travis and Damian podcast. We will see you guys 2 weeks from now with episode 20.
Yeah, see ya.